All right, we are getting ready to go from Lamar to Liberal, Kansas, and it's going to be a bit of a flight, I think. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be too terrible, but I was thinking about going to Garden City, but then, it's almost mid-October. Might be a good idea to start heading a bit south just to get us where we need away from the cold. So let's get it started up. I think I've actually got this stupid joystick fixed so that it's not as terrible, which is really good news. There was a setting on the bottom of it that I had never seen before. That was for like resistance, and if I loosen that all the way up, then all the major issues that I've been having went away. So that saved me about $300-400 because I would have been stupid and bought a very expensive stick. So I think we can get away with this a bit more. And yeah, let's get taxied out. I guess first we should probably figure out where we're headed for taking off. Holy shit, that's a big wind. Alright. We are going to...
Kilo Lima Alpha Alpha Traffic Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 is taxiing to runway 18.
Okay. And let's see. Try not to hit this guy in the head. Runway's over this way, and we should be taking off that direction. Yeah, you can see the windsock over there just completely blasting. And it's even at this speed difficult to taxi straight, although this game makes it very difficult to taxi straight a bunch. But let's go ahead and stop here. Someone asked if I had flown before. I think I've talked about it a bit, but yes, like when I start this game up and I see this, I can smell the airplane, because when I was a little kid, I used to do a lot of flying with my dad, who's a pilot, and my brother, who's a pilot, and my grandpa was a pilot, and I tried to not get in airplanes. But when I was younger, before I wasn't scared of flying, yeah, did a lot of flying. Now, I never had full control, but yeah, I grew up on an airport, and I, just grown up around flying a ton, which means that I have also known a lot of people that have died in plane crashes. So, don't know too many people that have died in car wrecks. Many people, though, that have died in plane crashes. So I just kind of, small planes, stay away from. Big planes, I rather drive to get to wherever I'm going. But this to me is fun. I wish I didn't have that fear, because my brother is making a shit ton more money than I do. So if I didn't have that fear, I would be a pilot making tons of money. But yeah, you can't have that fear if you want to be a pilot. So it's why I do this and not not in real life. So, I mean, almost anyone that does flight sim can say that they could land a plane and take off in real life. I'm sure that I could do that easily, just because I've somewhat done it before in real life. But that was back before my feet could touch the rudders, so... And I didn't really have the concepts of flying it. I just kind of knew a little bit. And I don't know how much my dad actually was controlling. Hey, there's an actual airplane parked at the airport that we just took off. Crazy. Alright, so we're heading the wrong way right now. We're going north. There's a racetrack up here that we're going to go take a look at, and then we will head in the other direction. Make sure that I actually... Yeah, we got half fuel, so we should be fine. Actually put the flaps up. Heading back over this canal that we saw a truck driving down. Take a quick look at the town of Lamar, and then look at the racetrack, which I didn't even get any info on. Let me... figure out Lamar Speedway. And it's a dirt track, obviously. We're seeing quite a few of those now. Of course, it doesn't have a link to a website on their Google. Another site's calling it a third mile, semi-high banked. That's about all I can get on it. Doesn't look like they actually have their own website, so I'm guessing they're another Facebook track that, but even a search for that didn't come up. So, alright, so it's just down this road. I think it's gonna be right around here. City of Lamar. Town of Lamar, I guess I should say. Right on the tiny Arkansas River. Shit, this thing is just climbing like crazy. Felt like it was probably doing that. But yeah, I've flown over Kansas so much. I've driven through Kansas in real life. I don't feel that Kansas is all that exciting. There's a racetrack. So I want to go down to Oklahoma at least, because I know a little less about that area. I'm still climbing up. Looks like a decent track. It's very small stands, not a huge pit area. Wonder, some people say high banked and it's really not. Kind of looks like Eagle though, except for without walls on the outside of the turns. I'll have to go look it up and see what it's like on YouTube. But alright, well, we are at 6,200 feet, and we need to head in this direction. Now we have a very good chance of getting lost. since we are just kind of going in our own direction here, this has made me realize that I don't actually know what I'm doing. So we want to go out at about 12. That's what we want. Or 120. And that will take us in the direction that we need to go. So we're going to do that. Get this thing leveled off because we really don't need to be any higher. And power back just a bit so that we're not just eating fuel up. If we can stay on this course, then we're good. We're crossing over Highway 50. I think that's Highway 50 still. Way for the, I think we're up to like, what's this? I have to look so I don't say the wrong number so I'm not confusing. Don't know how many legs we've done. Guess this is going to be the 17th leg of the trip. We're up to 19.2 hours, but we started at like 3.4, I think. So 16 hours into this, we're around there. And yeah, we're just gonna head towards the moon for now. Just not a lot to see around here. There's gonna be some sand hills, and honestly, there's not even going to be a whole lot of towns for the next probably half hour or more. We're going to go over Johnson, Kansas, and that's going to be a tiny town. And then, yeah, we're going to cross. I mean, there's really nothing out here, so, but that's part of it. There's a whole lot of flat farmland. Very little trees. That is the Great Plains. Amazingly, got an absolute clear day. I think the storms last night cleared out all the moisture. Not a single cloud, is that right? I think, yeah, it's got to be right. Got live weather. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be very interesting to see if I can end up where I want to, because now we're just flying directly off of that because we don't have any mountains or hills or anything. Got another fake little building out in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, the only people that come out here are the cows. Going over a bit of a change in aerial photography. Now, if I am heading in the right direction, then we should cross over a couple of creeks and some sand hills, if we're able to pick that out. But for roads, it's only going to be gravel roads under us. There might be a few smaller roads. I upped the throttle a bit because holy hell, this could take forever with nothing to look at. So yeah, I don't know if this flight is going to be, this might be an hour-and-a-half flight, but it's kind of one of those where we just had to take a big chunk out of it to get to where we need to go. Come back this way just a bit because the plane is pulling to the right just a little. Once we're done with this trip with the across the US, then we're definitely going to be doing some bigger plane flying, not jets, but maybe a Twin Otter. I might do like, I don't know, I think I talked about this last video, but might do like flying across some states or just taking some random trips. There's a couple of websites that will randomly select places for you to take off from, so I might do that. There's a whole lot of world out there that we can explore. Climbing up to almost 7,500. We don't need to talk to him. I think I'm just going to keep it tuned. Well, let's talk to him because they will want us to change.
November Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 is type Cessna 15210 miles southwest of Charlie Oscar 737,400 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 Denver Center. Squawk Tree 076.
Squawk Tree 076 Cessna Oscar November 5.
Cessna Oscar November 5 radar contact 10 miles southwest of Charlie Oscar 737,400 feet. Altimeter 29.79er.
Roger, Cessna Oscar November 5.
Alright, so that might give us something to listen to if there's anyone else out there flying in the real world. But there's not a whole lot of places around here, and we're kind of, I guess we're following one of the major flight paths, but we'll see how many we hear. So we've got what looks to be some sand hills there. We got a little town over there. So I wonder if that's Granada or Holly. That means we're getting closer to the little creeks. But yeah, this is the world I live in. Very flat. Lots of farmland. This is definitely some early winter aerial photography with the way everything looks down here. Now just over the road, that is late fall, well, no, early fall or spring.
Generic 5 Delta Tango contact Denver Center on 132.5. Good day.
That wasn't to us, was it?
Going to 132.5 generic 5 Delta Tango.
Let's see who they are.
Delta 555 contact Denver Center on 132.5. Good day. Delta 555.
I don't have. It looks like that was a citation. Not the Delta, but the other one. We've gotten off course. Alright, so are these the two creeks, and that's the sand hills there, which means there should be a town up there somewhere. Further south than I want to right now. Back there. Yeah. Not that exciting. Might actually break these flights up and land at Johnson, Kansas, because this actually might be a longer flight than I was planning for. Maybe not. Might almost be halfway to Johnson, which is going to be halfway to Liberal. Yep, so those are sand hills right there. Just imagine overgrown beaches, what that would look like. Piles of sand with a bit of brush on top of them. So we are right on track. The next thing that we should notice is more creeks, and that's it. There is nothing at all. There's not even small little towns that are on the maps out here. This is why I want to head southeast rather than straight east, because it's just a boring world, especially when there's not any weather. Only reason to go to Kansas is for storms. And if you think, oh, but Kansas City, well, no, because most of Kansas City is in Missouri. Although I've never recommended anyone going to Missouri either. But we'll see. Once we get to Oklahoma, then I'll have to take a look and see what looks good around there. Liberal is going to be essentially right on the border of Oklahoma. And Oklahoma was a lot more interesting to drive through than I thought it would be when I went down to the F1 race. So we'll see if it's okay to fly across. Probably not going to get anywhere near OKC or Norman. That would be... Oops. I think that would be a long ways south from where we are. Time looking at this and flying, because even though I've got most of the issues out of my joystick, it's now just pulling to the right a bit, which is fine when I am wanting to land or fly the plane, but when we're wanting to just go in a straight direction, it kind of makes things annoying. Alright, so we got some feedlots. Over there, up there. I don't see the creeks yet, so we're not to that point. We're just barely over the sandhill bit. So all that's around here is these little farm homes every few miles. Gonna turn back to the right a bit more. So we definitely to the left there too much. So yeah, we're almost into Kansas. There should be a bit of a main road for this area. Might be that. That actually looks like it might be paved. Yeah, I think that's the main road there. So I believe this line here might actually be the border. And that line is actually just aerial images, but it's kind of looking like it might be. And we got a big feedlot here.
Contact Denver Center on 132.5. Good day.
Shit, we got up to 8,600 there. Alright, so that was exec jet. Yeah, we're definitely going to go past Johnson or Stanton County Municipal because way too early in this flight to land. But we're definitely out of Colorado. I think right at this point. Showing like, and this would be difficult to see, there's like a major power line I don't think we're gonna see that. A little difficult to see since they would blend in with the scenery quite a bit. And I don't think they have like imported all of the towers, and I mean shit, we're at 8,000 feet, so it'd be difficult to see that no matter what. Trim down again, try to lose some altitude here.
Denver Center, generic November 851 Mike Alpha is at flight level 280, descending 10,000 feet. Generic November 851 Mike Alpha, Denver Center, continue as planned. Cessna Oscar November 5, contact Kansas City Center on 125.2.
There we go.
We
are now on Kansas City.
Cessna Oscar November 5. Kansas City Center, Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, 8,500 feet.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, Kansas City Center, altimeter 29.81, continue as planned.
Alright. Let's take a look around, see if I can figure out anything on our location. Not seeing a whole lot. We're not too far away from the Arkansas River. It does start to go down, and then there's a ton of sand hills along there. The moon has went up a little higher, starting to go off to the right just a bit more than the direction we want to head. Going about 95 knots. We're dropping a little bit of altitude too, which is helping us keep up that speed. And we've got a couple of creeks over here that might be the ones that I'm looking for. And we got another random ass building generated in a field. So there's gonna be a major railroad cutting across the landscape, it looks like just a, I think it's a single or double track, but a railroad going diagonal or across all of these farms is going to be fairly easy to spot. Or it should be. we are getting really close to like the halfway point in this series, which is good. I'd like to do some other flying in some different areas. But yeah, this middle bit, or as they call us, the flyover states, is gonna be a little boring. Not a lot to look at. Just how it is. Texas is gonna have some bigger towns, so if we start cutting across through there, we'll at least have that. Almost down to 8,000. Another feedlot over here out of our left window. We should have a big creek coming across that we should be able to see, that's right before the railroad and the highway. I might land at Stanton County if we're near it. So we are pushing 36 minutes, and I think it would be probably an hour and a half flight if I continue on. Doesn't like when I'm looking and trying to just fly. Good to know. I don't know why maybe it's always been that way, but I'll have to, if I'm looking around and trying to turn, have to do it without the mouse. So it looks like we might have a town over there, but I feel like that is too big for the area. This might be the creek, and that might be the airport, and I think we're gonna land there. No, not Johnson, Stanton.
Kilo Juliet Hotel, November automated
Okay.
weather observation 20.
We're gonna have to nose down into this quickly, but I feel like we're directly north of it.
November traffic says the Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 59er miles north 8,000 feet.
There it is, right there.
17.
So just kill the engines. Burn off some speed and altitude. A 40-minute flight is good. Alright. And we'll just hope this is the right airport, but it should be, because there's nothing else out around here, so. Altitude of the airport, 3,325. So we still got a ways to drop. I assume the left side is the runway. Yeah, left side's got the lights. Let's hope I can actually land halfway decent, because the landings have been pretty crap lately. But we also landed into the wrong direction last time, so... Alright. Got rid of the altitude. We're at 5,000. Pick up speed and hold 5,000. Pretty sure that was not how you do things, but last minute change of plans, so dropped almost 500 feet. Got a whole bunch of fake buildings that it thought a field was. Over there to the left. I'm surprised though that we were able to find this as easy as we did, but it is a very bright runway for the area. Alright, so we're gonna really drop some speed once we get to that road just before the runway. We're a little high right now, looking at the lights. Get it back down so that we see red. And that really gained us a lot of speed. Flaps. Pop us up just a bit. We can give it some more throttle and bring it in nice and slow. I was gonna do all that at the road, but this will work. Throttle. A little more We're starting to die here. Okay. Little left rudder here. Bring us back. We're starting to get to the right of the runway. Although now we might be on the left of the runway. I always have a very hard time figuring it out. Right rudder, bring it back over because I overdid it there. Too low, but that is for hitting the sweet spot. And I'm gonna be okay here. Well, much smoother than normal, because we actually took our time. And we're right here at the FBO. Unfortunately, they did not generate 3D buildings, so we're just going to park over here. Call that a successful flight. So 47 minutes, not too terrible. 5 minutes of that was getting ready and taxiing. So quick, just so nothing stupid happens. Let's go take a look at what is around here. So yeah, should have a lot of hangars and buildings, but it doesn't. Little golf course, little town. Nothing too exciting. Those are supposed to be grain bins, I bet. Hey, they've sort of got some round buildings now. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Looks like it's a wooden roof. But, yeah. Welcome to Kansas. Not that exciting. Got a little further to go, and we'll be out of Kansas. And, yeah. So, hope you enjoyed that flight. Really wasn't a whole lot to see, but we'll move on to the next one. Thanks for watching.